Next speaker is Professor Yangfang from Fudan University. He will talk about family in China from tradition to modern and postmodern.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Hello, Emiko. Yeah, long time to see you. Yeah. I will show my screen. Yes. Hello, everyone. Chinese editor was supposed to be respect and a very important role in the family in the past time. In Chinese culture, elders are viewed as a source of the wisdom and spirituality because it's a culture society. And they are respected to extend that the questioning their authority is considered offensive. In traditional Chinese houses, altars are made for decreased elders to order to remember them. Even after departing from the world, they are supposed to be guiding force in spirit. Middle generation parents as provides parents or working age adults too had a very important part to play in the family as a provides for all, while the elders were always to the controlling and of reasons of respect. Next generation married and had children as young as possible, and then worked as hard as possible to provide both their parents and the children. It's a very common sense about Chinese family, traditional family. Children as a future investments. Children has no authority of their own life, and the decision were always made for them. Youngest were always at the receiving end of family decisions, including his couples, who is their couples. They were rigorously trained and prepared to serve their elders. Men and women, patriarchal influence on family. In addition to being patriarchal, Chinese society is patrilineal. Therefore, even after marrying into a household, women are seen as outsiders. In Chinese family, every relation has a different name. The name for family members on the material side began with Y, meaning outside. It's how to say is grandparents. Grandparents is father's parents is just the grandparents. In China, is mother's parents is Y grandparents is outside. Women's role in the family was first as a child bearers, then as homemakers and workers, always subservient to the man of the house. How changing in China are affecting family values. Children are not just raised by parents, but often 2 or 4 grandparents too. Usually first patriarchal grandparents. Chinese people often end up making important life decisions just because of pressures from their elders, especially is the younger generation's marriage. 6 bodies. 6 bodies. Do you mean why is the 6 bodies? Parents 2 bodies, and grandparents. Grandparents is 4 bodies, including 6 bodies for child to buy apartment in the big city, such as Beijing, Shanghai, Canton. The one-child policy changed the Chinese society. After implementation of one-child policy from 1979 to 2015, Chinese society faced some major social imbalance. Since in China, a male child is responsible for the continuation of the family. This restriction results in too much pressure on single male child, which consequently lead to what's known as the Little Emperor, 小皇帝. In present times, norms of respect of elders are also changing dramatically, so much so that elders may now even be facing a complete lack of respect from youngest, as they march towards the more individualistic society, especially in the 39 and in the outside the big city. Is the youngest is a migrant into the big city, so it's just left the elders in the countryside. The Chinese Dinka family, double income, no kids, couples no longer marry only for constitution of their lineage. Now has become the center of the marriage. Despite reluctant parents, couples can now choose not to have kids, only focus on their career and their quality of their life, especially in the big cities. While some couples choose not to have so many kids in order to avoid the financial burden of raising children, just like in Japan. Others avoid to rebel against its traditional ways. It's a pyramid of Chinese age. It's very typical. It became is elder society. In the near future, is 20 years, Chinese aging problem is very serious. Very serious. So Chinese government have changed the one policy child, one child policy. Now it's 3-child policy. The policy was announced on just is 5 months ago, which comes after the release of results of the 7th national population census. It shocked the government, which showed the number of births in mainland China in 2020 was only 12 million, the lowest number of the births since 1960s. And further aging of the population against which the policy was born. But just let me see what's the consequence. So now in Chinese society, is the 剩女 is a big problem. 剩女 is not a very good good phenomenon. It's in some media is 3S women, single 70s, born in 70s, stuck. The increasing popularity of women in China has been largely accredited to the growing educated middle class. Women are more free and able to live independently in comparison to previous generations. Is the parents. Now in China, is some census shows is 38 million in China, 剩女, nearly 1 million in Beijing. I don't know is how many in Shanghai, but it's not less in Beijing. I think. So Chinese 3-child policy. How to change the Chinese society? I don't know. I'm just very curious. So in nearly 100 years, Chinese family and society is changed very dramatically. But the Chinese government plays a very important role. One-child policy changed the Chinese very greatly. But now 3 children's policy, how to change the China? I don't know. But maybe we will focus on the future problem. Thank you, everywhere. I know it's marriage and divorce. It's a big problem. From 2013 to 2020, the numbers of registered marriage pairs continued to decline from 13.47 million to 8 million, with a 21.2% year-on-year decline in 2020. The crude marriage rate fell from the 9.9 per thousand to 6.6 per thousand. 24 to 29 years old to replace the 20 to 24 year olds as a nearly main force of marriage. The high age group above the 40 years marriage registration accounts for significant increase. From 1987 to 2020, the number of registered divorce pairs in China climbed from 520,000 to 3.73 million. From 1987 to 2019, the crude divorce rate climbed from 0.5 per thousand to 30.4 per thousand. Thank you, everyone. I'm just introduced now I'm focusing on the Chinese family problem. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Ho.